So there's another question here. It's from Tom McAlpine, and he asks, he says that it's very rare for me to lose positions in the UFC fights, and also asks how to talk about the concept of position over submission. And I'm gonna put this question together with another question from Adalberto Silva that he asked how he does to don't lose the back position. So I'm gonna mix both questions. And I think the first thing we gotta understand is that Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a martial art based on first on control and then submission. The submission is a consequence of the control. Sometimes you can get a submission without control, like a wrist lock or foot lock, something like that. But most of the submissions come from control first. And plus, if you have a good control, you always win in the fight. So if you learn how to do a good control, you're gonna win the fight, even if you don't submit the guy. So let's talk about the back position. So for instance, when I'm in the back, let's say I'm in a perfect position control and I'm going to some mata-leão or some choke, and the guy starts to escape his hips and I start to lose my hip alignment. So instead of keep trying to submit him and maybe lose the position, I'm gonna first think about realign my hips and then submit. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna keep my eyes on the submission and looking for that if he make any mistakes. But let's say that 80% of my goal when he's escaping is to recover my position and get a good control. And then I have 20% of my energy thinking about the submission. But I cannot. It's a very common mistake, and you see in the UFC, and I made that, of course. Maybe sometimes I make that, and people are looking for submission and they lose the position because they are so focused on the neck or something like that they don't realize that the hips are getting loose, the hooks are getting loose. So what I training, and that's something you gotta go to the academy and train, is every time I'm losing the position, even if I getting a submission, if it's not really tight the submission, I'm gonna forget about that, come back all the way and restart. My coach, they always say, start again. So you're gonna start again the position. You're gonna go to the back, go to the back of the guy, not in the side or something like that. Back of the guy. Start thinking about the hooks. If you have one hook already, think about other one, or at least about aligning the hips, and then you go to the choke or something. And it's very common once you start to get very skilled on that, you start getting faster, quicker and quicker in going from control to submission. In one point, guys, like the Phenom Marcelo Garcia, they do at the same time they transition into the back, they go to the submission. But that takes time, and if you see most of Marcelo's submissions is first he will control and then he will submit. And some are in the transition. So if you wanna win fights, you gotta learn how to control first and then submit. It's like my former boxing coach Doria used to say, like, the knockout in boxing is a consequence. You don't look for the knockout, you look for positioning, for footwork, and escape the punches, and then you go to the knockout is gonna happen. It's the same in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You're looking for win the fight, you're looking for getting in position, pass a guard, sweep, and then the submission will appear. You don't get chasing like crazy, the submissions, because if you get a good control and a good jiu-jitsu, they will appear, okay?